The shield still comes in. God dang, they make it work. One big Udyr shield. Oh no!
The Heretics really want to try and start to force plays, right? You've got,
And they're starting to force already. That's level 6 for Photon. They knock him down. Big damage coming in. He's missing just about everything, but he doesn't need to hit anything because the autos are hitting, but Perk's going back.
Oh.
He's dipping. He's ducking. He's diving. He's dodging and survived. He's a dodgeball, and Perk's a goddamn pro. Look at him go. He manages to make it work. Team Heretics. Perk's untouched. Oh, the Akali damage clock is still staying alive for so long with the dual carries. Corsi, VGO, back to back. Hylissang supporting.
They can't kill them.
Used to go down. Vitality. Coming now to the analyst zone for her first interview, the 6-foot solo queue terror and Vayne OTP. She's pulling double duty as she goes full-time in esports and inflaming her supports. It's Giniro!
Aw, thank you. That was a... Oh, okay, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So, hi, I'm Ginny. Lovely to meet you. You're going to be my first interview here on the LEC, so congratulations on the win. I want to start off with that Kai'Sa pick, particularly. You kind of released us from the shackles of Corki, Azir mid. So tell us a little bit more about the thought process behind locking her in.
I mean, obviously, I like Kai'Sa. I showed it like a lot last year, and I think we had good results last year with it. And I do like Akali a lot, and I know what's good into Akali. And I do think Kai'Sa is a good matchup into it, especially this game. So it's like one of my favorite matchups to play, so I just wanted to play that.
All right. Well, it went great. You even got Kia Player of the Game for that one, so congratulations on that as well. You're talking a little bit about this game particularly. It was very much an up and down. What is it like as a team to be in that environment? And how do you get that ability to just bring it back and reel it in and just push for that win?
I mean, I think it was easier because when you outscale, or at least when you feel that you outscale and you play like games like this, so you can still like just feel it will be okay since you outscale, and if they can't end the game, then you will be fine. But I think the most important was yesterday's game. I think how it went and how we lost. We review it today, and I think we wouldn't have won today without the review we did this morning about yesterday's game. And I think we learned some stuff about yesterday's game, and I think there's a lot of stuff to learn about today's game too. But yeah, I think we just have. I mean, we were fine in the game since we felt like we were outscaling.
Outscaling you did, winning you did, and with that you also qualified for the playoffs, so congratulations. That must feel so incredible for you, particularly because it was against Heretics. Personally, how does it feel?
I mean, I don't really mind. I really enjoy my time on Heretics, and I liked the coaching staff that I had and the players that I had. And I really like the coaching staff that I have right now and the players that I play with. So I'm just happy that we played good, and I don't really mind who I play against.
All right, well, again, congratulations on the win today. We're going to be heading back over to the desk, so Laure, please do take it away.
Yay! Thank you so much, Ginny, and welcome to the LEC. Of course, amazing to have you here, and congrats on Vitality for unlocking playoffs here. Slow clap for slow game.
I like that. What a great game that was.
What a great gameplay we had.
Down.
Yeah, we're having fun in European League of Legends this year. Our teams are having fun like this. We're not having fun planning segments like this because, guys, what a mess this game was.
I mean, I don't even know where to start. Like, the early game was kind of a disaster both ways. It was kills left and right, Vetheo sniping people here and there. Team fights also very back and forth. I think this ult from Hully in this fight was really clean, and they ended up winning this fight as well, but it was a mega back and forth game, so
yeah,
banger.
I wish I set up maybe like anything to break it down, because it's a really good kick by Jankos as well on Vetheo, but the Sonyans buy so much space. Then you flash out, you E, you're invisible, and suddenly it becomes so much easier to team fight. There's just so much back and forth, and it's one of those games where whatever happened in the early game don't matter. Everything comes down to your team fight and you're set up for it.
Yeah, and one misplay like here from Jankos and the entire game kind of ends, right? Like, it's very stressful to play in these kind of games. Vetheo himself said that obviously with them feeling like they outscale, they can kind of lose a few plays here and there, but obviously with the Vars kind of standing still with Renata W, it's very hard to win late game against that Ocean Soul as well.
I think it's Treatz who said it on Twitter, the fact that whenever you enter late game, you hit Carzzy's comfort zone. And here it feels like it was Vetheo's and Carzzy's shows mostly. I love the way both carries have been stepping up this split so far.
They have been playing well, and I think, yeah, like you said, Carzzy, I think he's kind of the master of the clown fiesta zone. whenever there's a big kind of the master clown, if you will, yeah. I think him, obviously, he's always a really reliable carry. I think people obviously meme on him for being a goofy guy, but he said it himself last week as well. He is a very hard-working guy, and he performs when it matters. And Vetheo as well, with his comfort pick, Kai'Sa, I think he stepped up big in this game as well.
Yeah, and they're the next team to lock in playoffs here, so the last spot will be decided between GX and Rogue. Nice segue to the next game, as Rogue will be facing off against BDS at half matchup ahead. Even though they grabbed the win yesterday, I don't think it's the opponents you want to face off against, although they have everything to prove, so... Yeah, you want to make it to playoffs, you need to be able to face off against teams like this.
But right now, BDS is everything Rogue would love to be. They are the ones that suddenly got their early game going. They're the one who looks super clean in late games. They're the one who's got a jungler who's really connecting with the rest of the team to make the correct plays. Everything that BDS does right is everything that Rogue's been struggling with.
Yeah, and
I'm mostly excited for this. I want to know what they have cooked for us today, because, guys, they record everything prior to the splits. So what is this?
That's Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, okay, yeah, like, okay, nice. I didn't hear the music. I don't know if that's allowed, but yeah, anyway. Nice look live on the side of BDS here, and it should be an easy game for us, although we saw a glimpse of hope on the side of Rogue yesterday, and it translated to, I don't want to say clean, but cleaner team fights. At least.
I think with Rogue as well, they made it really simple for themselves yesterday. I think you get a champion like Corki for Larssen as well, and then you know if there's no enemy range that can outrange you, well, he's going to be in a great comfort spot. But everything that was built around that made it so much easier to team fight as well.
And they knew that KC is an opponent which might get a small early game lead, but they won't punish in mid game. So when you have this kind of easy scaling comp, I think Rogue is a team which feels comfortable in that spot. But with BDS early game, it's going to be a different story.
Yeah, but as you can see here, historically with Rogue, they have struggled in team fights. Even when they set up for the objectives first in this scenario where they start up in the grubs. And it's not just one time it's been happening. We've seen it again and again and again, but it felt like finally yesterday, that's when they started cleaning up, as you can see here on your screen.
Yeah, and with the Corki and the Senna, you have a very easy front to back, right? So Rogue in this position where they actually get to early game towards the mid game with kind of an easy to play front to back comp, I think that's when they shine. But with BDS on the other side, very strong early game and very strong team fight. I think arguably the strongest team in Europe right now, so will be a tough challenge.
But also just one of the best metas for BDS right now. You take a look at their champions right now for Nuke, Diasir, Tristana, Nico, Orianna, like everything is perfect for his champion pool right now. For the side of Adam, yes, he has guards in the back pocket if he's looking for it, but he's also just slamming a K'Sante into a Rumble, so you get more freed up in draft because they're more willing to play into some of the champions that people are scared of on this patch too. And then Ice has just been phenomenal. A lot of question marks around him in the beginning, but he's been absolutely performing.
I mean, they've been clicking well, and it echoes to what Striker, their coach, was telling me yesterday in interview, the fact that they're taking every stage of the game step by step, staying methodical, staying calm and collected, and I feel like they can be, it allows them to be crazy in game because they know exactly what each player is supposed to do in the team, which is not the case for Rogue so far. And it surprises me because when you look at players like Larssen, like Comp, who won titles, actually, I would expect a bit more, I don't know, method when it comes to how you're going to approach games of League of Legends.
Yeah, it just feels like they kind of don't have that base trust for each other when it comes to plays. I think a lot of them are kind of looking at other people to make plays happen, so nothing really happens in their games. I think oftentimes it comes from jungle support, but we haven't really seen that synergy yet from Markoon and Zoelys, and I think today is a game where they really need to have the synergy and kind of make stuff happen, because otherwise BDS will do it. So.
And before we get into that game, let's hear about Zoelys and what he said in his newcomer interview. We'll be back right after this.
My name is Theo, so Zoelys in game. I'm 20 years old and I come from France. I think I started like season 5 or 6. Like my brother, he was playing games, so I just follow him. And I started playing competitive. I think I was in like last year of high school, so I believe I'm like 16. I played in Division 3, 2 years in Division 2, and last year I was in LEC, like French Division 1. We won LFL and now I'm here. try to be like a bit creative, a bit aggressive, and like make the difference in lane and translate after to mid game with that lead. In support, I like Pike, Treatz, Blitzcrank, you know, kinda like playmaking champ. I think Alistar is like kinda legend in support in Europe, so I'm really excited to play against him. I want to face KC because like it's a French team, so it's pretty hype and I play a bit with them, so yeah, KC.
They faced off against KC yesterday, and Grab, I think, what was a really important win for the team in sense of moral boost. I think that's you need to pick up wins like this, Treatz, when you head into the last week of regular season, locking this spot in playoffs. Is it going to be enough today, though?
I think it's very tough for them. I think that yesterday was kind of the first test and they nailed it. I think they had a pretty clean and easy game overall. They just had a very easy scaling comp. Today, I don't have as much confidence. Obviously, BDS has been extremely strong, so yeah, let's see how the game plays out.
And let's see what they decide to go with here as we will head to the draft really soon. What has BDS cooked for us as well? I've been talking to the players backstage and they're like, Laure, we have some stuff planned, we have some spicy picks planned, we know what add-on can do on some champions. I really want to see what the others can bring and what they're going to
surely you're not doing it against a team like Rogue instead on the way onto playoffs next week, you know what I mean? Because they just look so good with all the staple picks. Like, I think for a team specifically like BDS, you don't have to change the formula. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here at all. Like, you just go with what is strong on the patch and it absolutely works for them.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what direction Rogue goes because, like I said before, if they go for this kind of scaling, easy-to-play approach, against BDS it will be hard. If they don't have these early playmaking tools, I think honestly, your best chances, Rogue, might just be to match their early game and try to get Zoelys on one of his comfort champions and go for this kind of engage/early game style on bot lane.
That's one of the hardest things that Rogue has tried to achieve but not been able to. I think the early game, the slow pace of the gameplay that we've been talking about, and I think the easiest way for them is to try and just go for scaling. And I know it's going to suck, especially if BDS really has a high-octane early game themselves, but the truth is, Rogue has just been way more comfortable in a late game scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm BDS, I just banned the most easy-to-play champion, so to say. I think the Senna makes sense. I think, honestly, even banning something like the Corki would be fine. Something like the Maokai, which just kind of gives them an easy path towards fights, because if I'm BDS, I'm more confident in the team fights, and I'm more confident in early game, so just remove these easy tools, or like kind of these 1v9 champions that can exist on Rogue, and LeBlanc, I think, is one of those champs, which Larssen could obviously kind of abuse in the mid lane.
Yeah, we saw what Caps was able to do on that the other day, and yeah, while the AD LeBlanc has been nerfed, it's still thriving. Yeah, it still looks very fun on the Rift.
What will be the last one? Here, Puppy again. Okay.
There's a lot of champs still open, right? There's Maokai, there's Ashe, obviously. Kalista as well is another champion which Comp has been very proficient on in the past. Laure ban last, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Adam just looking for Cassandra himself, and he knows that Szygenda prefers playing the 9 to the Cassandra, so yeah, I don't know. Well, Labrov and Ice, they have played an Ashe bot lane with Ashe support early as well, so it could still be good into the Kalista, so it wouldn't surprise me to see that be picked up against it.
Yeah, if you have Ashe and then you hold support pick until 5, you can also flex the Ashe to AD carry. Obviously, it's played mostly in support right now, but still a fine AD carry. And if you hold support until 5 here on the side of BDS, it will give you a slightly easier matchup, I would say. Also, we know that Labrov has been insane on the Blitzcrank, so I'm sure that Rogue is very scared of picking the Renata themselves. It would be a kind of an easy counter pick.
They mentioned it yesterday when I've talked to Comp. He was like, we have to be careful about Labrov's Blitzcrank. I don't think we're going to see the champion today. Really standard draft here on this side of BDS so far.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Markoon is thinking right now, because they're trying to match it in Zhao. We've seen Jax in the jungle against it, we've seen the Trundle against it, but we've also just seen a standard Maokai facilitating your team like a Rel. So I want to see what kind of path he chose for.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think honestly picking the Blitzcrank themselves when they have Kalista against Ashe is like the most obvious choice here. You don't want the Renata because of Labrov's Blitzcrank, so if you pick it away, easy peasy. And then take the Corki for scaling, obviously Larssen comfort pick since many years back. I think you have to get something like the Braum here. I think you need a safe support. They go for Orianna since Zhao instead.
Handshaking mid lane.
Yeah, handshaking mid lane is fine. But I do think that now for bot lane, Ashe support doesn't look very enticing if I'm Labrov. I think, obviously, with the Vars already banned, there's not many lanes where you can kind of abuse the Kalista and the Blitzcrank, so I would like to see Rogue ban out the safe supports like Braum, because I think that's the direction Labrov should go for.
Looking at Team BDS as well, they are starting to take away their junglers now that there isn't that many left for Markoon either. But I think as Rogue right now, you don't need a lot to finish a comp. You just need a standard jungler, you need a top laner that provides some CC or puts Szygenda even, and then you're playing for the early game through the bot, and you got Larssen as that late game to play through. But I think on the side of Team BDS as well, they want something where they can really accelerate their team fight so they don't find them in a situation where Larssen will just outrange them completely and they have no way of playing the game. But there goes the Rel, there goes the Maokai, and that has been the most stable facilitators of Markoon so far.
Yeah, I'm looking at something like maybe Jarvan, for example. It would be very good engage against the Ashe and the Orianna for Markoon. It's not a champ which he's, I guess, played a lot in the past. He can obviously play the champion, but I think it would be a solid pick for them. I'm very interested to see now if BDS goes for... I think obviously they should lock in the support here. I personally myself would look towards something like the Braum. Can block a lot of rockets as well from Corki in teamfights. Very easy to play.
But I think as well, if you go Braum here, then like Trundle has a lot of value right now, is at least what I'm thinking. Like you're decent into Sin, you got the pillar as well from Ashe. It's kind of hard to play into when you're so immobile.
Alistar and Braum are the two best supports into Kalista and into Blitzcrank, so I think either of those would be fine.
This one's great.
Yeah, Alistar also with Orianna makes a lot of sense. I think now Rogue has... They kind of have to spice up their top side a bit, because obviously Adam has counterpick. The Olaf and Darius are banned, so he's I'll bring the Garen here a bit of a taunt. So I think K'Sante makes a lot of sense now, right? I think that would make the most sense for Szygenda to pick up.
I think, yeah, it's one of the safest options you can go with right now.
I would like to see a Jarvan here from Markoon. I think they need some more kind of follow-up for Zoelys. I'm not sure if they're a champ, which I've missed. I think something like the Jax, like you mentioned, GB, would be okay, but it's very hard to teamfight against the side of BDS.
As well, just knock him away. But
Jarvan has my pick here on the side of Rogue.
Yeah, just anything that really punishes an immobile AD carry as well can force flash out of the Orianna too. But they're still talking about it as well, debating.
Hesitation, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think that's a great pickup from Rogue. And now BDS.
I don't even know what I was waiting for, honestly.
Just getting insta-logged in. We talked about it. He's been playing a lot of K'Sante, but he's also been on the guards. And yeah, Garen comes through. Honestly, have we seen it against the K'Sante? Because usually it's against the Jax as he's got as a counter pick.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen this matchup.
No, but he will play it into anything.
Yeah,
That's
I think
not
the
an issue
items
for
were
Adam.
nerfed a bit for Garen, but I still think you can play this matchup. I think it's not as good as before, and K'Sante is very OP right now, but it will be interesting to see.
So final questions before we toss to Kesta. Are you happy with the approach that Rogue has going into the best team we have in the league right now?
I think they have more early game and they have a lot more playmaking, especially on jungle and support. So I think they just need to link up and kind of force plays on BDS because they have the power in their hands to make it happen.
But this is also where they can't afford to be slow. Like you got a Jarvan, you got a Blitzcrank, you got to get those linked up. You got, yep, absolutely. You got to make sure that you utilize what you've actually picked these champions for. If the gameplay is slow paced and you're only relying on the Corki, then the rest of your team is going to be struggling.
All right, well, let's see if Rogue can take down the top team we have in the ADC as we head into our second game of the day.
Thank you very much, Laure. What? Interesting draft, I will say. Not as spicy compared to our previous game. I feel like pretty standard. Although I do love me a little bit of Kalista Blitzcrank. And you know what I hope? I hope this leads Rogue to a new playstyle where they just go crazy with these hooks.
You know what? I was thinking that. I was thinking, we often talk about how slow Rogue are. And in a way, we were almost dreading this game just because we were like, well, will Rogue do anything until they hit items? Maybe Blitzcrank is the caffeine that we needed.
It absolutely is. I stand by that. I like that angle. Blitzcrank is the caffeine we need. I'm giving that benefit of the doubt. It's a tall task to beat BDS.
Oh, yeah.
They've been a pretty solid team. But Blitz has seen a lot of success here in the LEC. Let's see if Zoelys can find a win on it himself. And Larssen, obviously, comfort in Corki. He scales well. He plays well in the late game once he's scaled. So it's a nice pairing. And comp back to Kalista. So comfort for Rogue, really.
And I will say there is a lot of value in this Corki pick and its value of poke. Just because BDS, their engage tools are pretty limited. It's more or less kind of, will Ashe arrow hit? Will someone overstep?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously always are going to have the opportunity to flash Alistar combo.
Yeah.
But against a Corki, you know, you can react in a lot of those situations. And they don't have that, you know.
Yeah.
Alistar, I feel like a weaker, better in some ways than Rel, but mostly just very similar to Rel.
It's
in what
like
he provides.
They don't have a Jarvan who can just start a fight. And I'm not going to say the fight will be good as a Zoelys.
Hook, connecting onto Labrov. Alistar level 1, useless.
Oh.
He's getting run down. Labrov going to die for first blood. Oh, man. That is tragic. All right, so Zoelys gives up a pot, probably. and that's about it in exchange for Labrov going down. And now Ice can't even walk up in this lane phase.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty rough for Ice. And also Larssen was the one that picked up the first blood kill.
I mean, yeah, he could go back and buy tier right now and TP back to lane.
Oh,
his life would be so
level 2?
easy.
I mean, the mid lane is quite wide. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Rogue, sidestep from Nuke clean. Nice thumbs up. A little bit of cocky play there. But I will say, level 1, successful. Kind of a counterpunch to what BDS tried to do with that invade there.
Yeah.
And level 2 ganks coming in.
Okay.
I like what we're seeing.
A Valkyrie forward. Oh my.
Oh, I love it. And obviously we know, like, we've seen these players at their peak. They have the capacity to play these super aggressive laning phases backed up as it was when Malrang was on the team in so many of their early games. But this is what we've been waiting to see from Rogue. And some of that flavor that made them so successful in years past.
Exactly. It's the fact that we know they can be aggressive, but it feels like philosophically they will prefer a much slower game. Now, speaking of the opposite of slow, Sheo, nope, not going to look for this onto Larssen. Or is he?
Okay. Sheo on the way in. What is he willing to commit here? Larssen taking his time, just a bit of poke, just helping Nuke out in the laning phase. Of course, Larssen, in theory, has a gold advantage, but because he hasn't spent it yet, it doesn't matter. And I do think, Jamada, before we get any further, just a reminder on stakes here. Rogue are essentially neck and neck only with Giant X at this point. They play tomorrow. That's kind of the big breakpoint game for them. That's the do-or-die matchup for both of those lineups. But for BDS, they could lock top 2. Right now, they're just trying to lock down a lane phase as Ice getting bullied out here. Ren comes through as well. Larssen could just be in trouble. Who's actually going to win out on this one? Nuke continuing to step up. Is he willing to commit the flash here? Is he going to trade flash for flash with Larssen? Opts not to do it. Doesn't want to overcommit. His Sheo's on the bottom side, but Zoelys walking up.
Oh, the Grump's in the way. Not anymore.
Doesn't want to risk it. And right now, the early game looking really nice for the side of Rogue. Yes, it's only a 500 gold lead, but they're going to get a little bit more here once they're able to force this wave in. Ice not going to be able to catch so much of his CS.
This is nice tempered aggression from Rogue right now.
I like what we're seeing. Don't want to jinx it. Not going to say anything, you know? Just I'm appreciating it as it happens. All right. Adam, of course, level 6, I think maybe a bit more kill pressure in this lane. A lane he's very comfortable with. Doesn't have TP, something we like to talk about a lot. You know, the disparity in summoner spells there. And Rogue, obviously, you got Corki packet and you got Larssen with TP. It's going to feel really easy to have man advantage in a lot of these fights if Adam does not find a way to really shut down Szygenda here.
Yeah, as it goes, when you're running a TP-less top laner, you really have to be on point with your lane assignments and just understanding where you need to be on the map at all times. One momentary lapse will really, you'll just lose way too much.
But of course, Adam and this BDS lineup are no strangers to him playing TP-less top laners. He's probably played more often without TP in a lot of the years than he has with. So, gonna be ready for that. Assume that they will find the diligence there with good lane assignments, but after those initial burst of ganks, all is relatively quiet. And for bot lane, Ashe obviously very strong into Kalista, makes her life pretty difficult. So now that they've stabilized, now that resets have come through, while Ice might be 100 or so gold behind, should balance things out pretty quickly here.
Yeah, and that crash on the bottom side of combination of Nuke also have a mid lane priority is just going to allow Sheo to slip in here. He's gone over the wall with the Wind Becomes Lightning and the Audacious Charge. He's not going to be on vision, but you'd imagine Rogue will have this idea that it's going on once Ice and Labrov dip over to the river. But BDS will also see Markoon go over towards the grubs. So let's see what actually can transpire here, because Adam's got a little bit of free time to move down and interrupt that.
Good vision control on the top side for BDS. Has to play around the vision. Instant flash in, ignite as well, just trying to take Markoon out of the equation. Oh, goes in!
And this is just all good planning from BDS. Sheo left that ward up there earlier on. Knows he's got the timer to do the dragon. Adam, just by, I feel like a little bit of coincidence to be fair, has the window to slip down and just stops him from doing grubs. Well played by BDS.
And that's why the Garen is scary. You know, they banned away a couple of those Adam picks, but they couldn't take them all out. Labrov has to be careful here, but Sheo's on the way in now. It might be Zoelys who's been caught out. 1-2, looking for the knockup. Not going to commit anything else. Hook goes in, catching Sheo out, but the knockup was already prepped for Sheo. Sheo no level 6 means he will get taken down here. Flag and drag forward from Markoon, but a quick flash out to safety from Labrov.
Yeah, I mean, really well played by Rogue on the counter punch there. They felt like they were able to try and turn that one around, but unfortunately Markoon returns from his death to the bottom tribe Russian. Able to donate over that kill to Comp, and That's going to kind of extend out this gold lead that's slowly building between Comp and Ice.
Yeah, Rogue actually building a lead overall. Yes, Adam, maybe a little bit of a concern as he has about 300 individual gold for himself, as well as a blue buff, just to make the laning phase a bit easier, but 700 gold for Comp right now. Only 200 for Larssen. That discrepancy after the first blood slowly shrinking, but right now it feels like Rogue taking control early on. Sheo just helping Adam push out here. Again, without the TP, lane phase is much, much more volatile.
It's very difficult. If you end up in a situation with no jungler, you're kind of like half chunked out. You don't know whether or not you can be lethal, or if you try to clear the wave, you will get run down for it. So it's nice that Sheo's there just to kind of support Adam, just the touch. Constantly hovering around.
A lot of time topside.
Yeah,
Missed
I think
the initial win becomes lightning on the Scuttlecraft. Didn't want to commit.
Oh.
Might just get one popped here. Red buff, walk up, get the auto, get the slow, immediate follow-up CC, hook ready to go if they need it, but Labrov in the area as well, and in the 1v1, Sheo most certainly wins out. Adam now trying to step in. Body block comes in from Szygenda there just to deny access. Sheo now following up, Markoon there, pull back under towers, in trouble, but he's gonna live! Blinking health bars on both junglers, neither side able to get much of a bigger advantage. Szygenda now stepping up onto Adam, but can't reliably go for the all-in in that exchange. BDS though, closer to the crab, able to start that one up, unafraid. Sheo healing up pretty quick.
No one's got a grub yet. Drakos. Everyone's fighting for him, but no one's getting any.
It's kind of an icky name though. Who really wants grubs?
Yeah.
You want a dragon? You want a Baron Nashor? Void grubs? Like, could we have picked Rift Herald? Like, all these things sound so cool. Void grubs sound kind of gross. And they are kind of gross. I mean, like,
they are kind of gross, yeah.
You don't want to touch that.
No.
Remember Dirty Jobs? Feels like an episode of Dirty Jobs every time you go to pick up grubs. Like, this is what is coming out of you right now. What are these void mites? Are you making these? Where did these come from?
I don't want to think about that.
No?
No.
And that's fair, and we won't. Instead, we'll talk about steaks. Because steaks are always safe discussion topic.
I love steaks.
Again, I mentioned it earlier. For Rogue, it's really do or die in that Giant X matchup tomorrow. We'll kind of keep you posted as the tiebreaker stakes kind of develop further. But for BDS, they lock top 2 here. Remember, the distinction between first and second, not important in our format, but top 2 is a nice place to be. You're going to get to pick your opponent. It's going to feel so good coming to best of 3 to know you can lock down potentially one of the teams that has been struggling in the season or who has just barely made it in. BDS would love to have that advantage. The other contestants really at this stage are mostly G2 and SK.
Yep.
Who've also had some pretty solid performances.
Well, BDS would love to lock down that top 2, but crucially Rogue as well. Obviously,
looking to lock down that top 8.
Yeah. It's kind of a sink or swim almost situation. You want to be able to pick up a win here today just because 1, it puts pressure on Giant X, but 2, you just feel a lot better being on 3 wins as opposed to 2, considering you don't know what the result will be later on. Because going into tomorrow, if both teams are at 2 and 2, it just becomes an elimination straight up.
Or both teams are 3 and 3. I mean, we could have
or that too, yeah.
Either or. Certainly a situation to keep our eyes out for. And it's always interesting to see how form changes kind of when the pressure is on. I'm curious to see what KC will look like later today, if they're going to be one of the teams where now that there's no pressure on them whatsoever, they just show up and play like absolute, gods. Happens so frequently for teams that are eliminated.
Feels like sports of Laure, doesn't it? Like, in the moment you really have nothing to play for.
You finally take the pressure off yourself and you're like, wait, I'm actually so good.
Yo.
I just need to chill.
What the heck? I just had to take a moment and be like, yeah, I'm actually pretty good at this League of Legends game.
And my CSing and my team fighting and my warding.
He said it, not me.
I was talking about myself.
Oh, okay.
Don't project here.
Okay.
I'm not trying to kick anybody while they're already down.
Okay, just making sure.
No, bad blood here. Other than the Mad Lions fans, they're roasting me constantly for putting them in D tier. That one I'm just gonna have to put down.
All right.
I feel like there might be bad blood there. I'm gonna have to let that one go.
There might be, but like, who didn't put them in D tier? And realistically,
an entire country.
If you didn't put them there, you're either Spanish or, frankly, you must have
prophetic.
Been prophetic. Okay, you're a Spanish prophetic.
Yeah.
Or you are damn well crazy because, I mean,
really love Eba, which, to be fair,
yeah, also true. Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish. I think he's low. Anyway, Larssen has a package.
Oh, hello.
Arrow going mid lane, going wide, going top lane, leaving the rift. Okay, nothing's gonna happen.
Something just hit me in the head.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
Can we break the game time record again?
Not twice in one day.
Okay,
no.
Rogue, first setup here. Larssen has package. BDS very likely to just concede this immediate ult now coming from Labrov. He's ticking down. They can just wait for the spears to fall away and they can instantly one-shot him. I'm stepping up, but they'll be happy with just the dragon. Bit of a scattered fight. Not sure how much time Larssen has left on the package, but that'll be Drake over to Rogue. 1 Drake to 1. Larssen packages back to mid lane to pick up the farm.
The grubs haven't been taken yet.
Because they're icky. I told you, bro.
Yeah,
they're nasty as hell. Sheo's going in there. He's doing dirty work for the sake of the team.
All right.
Look at them. They're horrifying. They're so gross. Why are their mouths sideways? What was the evolutionary purpose of that?
Do you know what that reminds me? They kind of look
They're
like...
just like they cannot eat soup.
They kind of
absolutely cannot eat soup.
Oh boy. Oh, wait.
All right,
Ice.
caught out now. Instant combo, but a clean flash to make it out to safety. Labrov, can he punish them for overextending? Next flag and drag. Ice still has to be careful, has to be ready to backstep if necessary. Markoon ignited. Markoon burning down Golden Egg, buys him a bit more space. Ignite ticking will get the job
Nuke's
done.
in now.
Nuke here as well. This is big for BDS. They've already taken down 2 Void Grubs. They're going to get all 3. Zoelys getting instantly pulled back. Labrov with a follow-up, a comp. Able to turn it. Trying to get a little bit more here. Ice now backing away, playing on the edge there. Szygenda going to step forward. There should just be a double for Rogue on the bottom side. TP, pretty important summoner spell, and Rogue putting it to good work.
Yeah, Adam not able to follow up, and they know that Xin Zhao's on the top side because they get the call out from the grub takedown. So Rogue able to capitalize on this. A couple of plates will be traded on the top side for sure, but I mean, it feels like breadcrumbs in response. Comp gets another kill, so does Larssen. Gold's going everywhere Rogue wants it to. Adam gonna get an additional plate.
And look, it's good if the Garen can one-shot
the Garen
Kalista.
thing.
And
Yeah.
again, shout out to Stixay. We know he can one-shot Kalista as we get later in the game. Fight starts pretty good for Rogue. Looks like BDS are going to turn it, but hey man, TP's important.
Yeah, TP is very important. And at the end of the day, whilst this chase down is great and the Ignite eventually does tick down for Markoon, once the overchase comes in because Nuke's got the first move, kind of just opens up this window, as you can see on the top side. Adam's proxying, so Szygenda eventually gets his teleport through, and the target goes, of course, through onto Zoelys, who has the ultimate back up from Comp.
Able to make that play just in the nick of time. TPing to the minion. There was no ward there for the flank. Just that last minion as the shot is coming in from the tower. So well played overall. And Rogue continuing to scale comfortably. And this is the thing I will say that I like is when Comp is performing on the Kalista, I love having Kalista with a scaling mid. People talk about it all the time, but I do really like having that bridge because Kalista is such a powerhouse in these early skirmishes. And Corki's super powerful late game.
Yeah.
So you got, you're covered for all stages. And Markoon fitting into a supportive role here. The Jarvan looking solid. Yes, it's only 0-2-1, but much more proactivity than we have seen in a lot of the Rogue early games.
Yeah. A lot of positives right now for Rogue. As this Herald, by the looks of things, should go down to them pretty easily.
See, that feels worthwhile.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's big horn, big eye. It's scary and kind of gross, but that's worth it. That's a triumph.
And you get to drive it.
Yeah.
It's like winning a car.
Yeah, exactly. This is a worthwhile objective. Void Grub's not convinced.
You're not convinced?
No, not convinced. Good buff. Terrible monster. BDS happy to have at least 3. Make that push a little bit faster. Losing Herald. A bit difficult. Adam, is he going to find an angle to punish? Szygenda's just going to give him that respect. And remember, breaking open mid-tier 1, fantastic.
Yep.
With a Blitzcrank, any champion that wants to try and fish for picks loves taking down mid lane tier 1. You push up your vision line, enemy team is walking into the risk of death every time they face check a brush.
Yeah, if BDS and Rogue continue to play at this pace, but Rogue are able to crack open that mid lane tier 1, the game, it almost turns into a horror game at that point. Where as Rogue slowly strip away vision, as BDS, you never know which bush is going to have a Blitzcrank in it. And it's just a constant guessing game.
I mean, inversely, if BDS take down the mid lane tower, you never know which bush is going to have a Garen in it. So it could go either way. Mid lane tower just very important, it turns out.
You would have thunk it.
Yeah, that's why mid laners have egos, I feel like. It's because they know their lane is the most significant in the context of the map.
That it is. Well, there's 60 seconds until Cloud Dragon. Will this be a pick? Nope.
I don't know if you wanted that hook, Zoelys. Luckily he misses, but BDS immediately going to fall off. That's one dead Blitzcrank. Arrow not going to connect on Larssen on the backside of that play. It's out of mana as well, and BDS just going to look to try to extend a lead in the bottom side. Well played from Labrov. Good roam. Rogue now looking to punish top lane. Nuke. Is he just going to? He's just going to back off here, respecting that he's on the weak side. But is it too little, too late? Will they be able to take this Orianna out?
No. Far enough away. I can at the very least appreciate that Rogue are looking for active plays, though. I will say that. And right now as well, the cross map of the failed play on the bottom side. On the top side is Herald Charge. They'll pick up this tower and more gold into Comp's back pocket.
More money for Comp is the big thing.
Yeah.
Able to solely put that gold
Oh, yeah. Oh.
into the hands of Comp. Oh, he's getting double value.
Oh.
He's drifting. Oh my gosh, Nuke saw it coming.
Oh!
This is a flash! Waiting in the darkness. We were scared of the wrong robot.
Yeah, we were.
All right, Comp flashes out. 5 minutes now. He's going to be a little bit more vulnerable. Credit to Nuke for finding that angle, for anticipating it. Just a bit of greed for Comp. Comp does still get the charge, but not a whole lot else. 1.4k individual gold lead working towards Insu's second. Nothing crazy there in terms of itemization.
Nothing we're not used to right now, but certainly will hit that second item mark well before Ice does. It feels like this dragon is up and available, and Rogue for now have the positional advantage of being inside the room.
Replay.
I mean, it's a really good flash from Comp, by the way.
Yeah,
He is able to react pretty quickly to that situation. So if he gets hit by, he probably dies.
Yeah, gets pulled under. Seems very likely. Very least has to also cleanse a potential slow follow-up there. His objective going to get taken down. Sheo in the area. Just going to watch that one fall away. Control ward. Maybe they're hoping to win the follow-up fight as the arrow is going to connect onto Markoon. Excellent buffer on the flag and drag there to make it out to safety. Could have cost him his life.
Felt like another one of those stare-down situations again from game one. But Sheo, I guess, will get the Raptors after the back end. So little victories, I suppose.
That's 8, bunch of Raptors.
Yeah.
For one dragon.
Ooh.
So.
I mean, I'm as a jungler, Raptors over everything. You know,
not more in terms of value, but more in terms of quantity of things.
But also kind of like it's a mental edge. Steal away Raptors. Anyway.
Yeah.
90 seconds till Baron.
90 seconds till Baron. And an unknown number of minutes till our next game. G2 versus Fnatic. Classic Legacy Dynasty Kings. Narrative. Big time historic matchup is Adam 1v1ing in the Thunderdome here versus Markoon. He's now just going to run away. Larssen, can he finish this kill off? Flash out to safety. He had already procced the phase rush.
Oh,
he
no.
has so much.
Oh, no.
Is he going to get it? Kill him all. They shut him down. He's dead. They're taking him out. It was close. We all felt it. We all got nervous.
Strike the demon down. Quickly.
They got him. They will not fall today. Good discipline from Rogue not to give him that edge, not to give him that opportunity, because he was fishing for it.
Like only Adam could make that squeaky bum time over.
Yeah, and he's got a 1.3k lead for himself. But right now for Rogue, I still feel like it's going to be hard because we need to see them extend this lead, show the same consistency in the mid late game that they have kind of shown in this early game, which has not been the case in the vast majority of their games. Again, they won yesterday against a struggling KC, and they won a pretty convincing game against G2. It's a mixed bag of results from Rogue in terms of wins, so it's hard to know how they're going to be able to perform as we get later into the game.
All right, well, Comp should be basing for his second item, and that should be the Guinsus. And with Larssen hitting Malignance as well.
That's big.
They're on their spikes, so if they wanted to start this Baron, which is spawning right now.
Nice, well timed.
Thank you.
Technically right now. You
Right now,
that was
I know, but he came...
Okay.
Yeah, so Baron up on the map. If they wanted to try and get a little bit objectively aggressive and force a fight.
That was a very weird way to phrase that, but yes.
I know. If we want
BDS right now getting objectively aggressive as they step up to fight for Vision. Zoelys, this is a tough situation because you're not that threatening because they're okay getting hooked. Maybe they should not be. Sheo losing 70% of his health there.
That's the power of Corki.
Yeah, Comp as well there with a quick spear. So does he just reset? No, it looks like he's going to go try to heal up off of Wolves. There's a play on the bot side against Adam. Without Corki here, I don't think they have the damage, but we'll see again. Thunderdome, Adam has been locked in. 2v1, 3v1, they're sending more resources. Can they kill the Garen? He's phase rushing out. That was not, that did not work.
Well, gents, back to the drawing board. Adam shrugs it off. And, well, Berlin's happy about it, to say the least. And it's going to turn into a mid lane tier 1.
Adam on Garen is always a treat.
Oh, yeah.
For the viewers. Not for teams that have to play against it. I think we can safely say that.
Yep.
And that's so many resources used.
I think that's the scary thing about it. It's like they pulled a teleport, they got Markoon's ult out of it.
Yeah, they force a fight quickly. I mean, it's kind of hard, obviously, right now to force a fight. I don't think you're really going to take Baron unless you absolutely ace the opposition.
Yeah.
But Larssen's still scary. Easy for them to get mid lane prio. You know, Nuke obviously excellent wave clear on the Orianna, but the range of Corki means that Rogue should always have first push in mid.
And first move onto the side lane, which is why they tried to attack Adam, but it just didn't quite work out for them. This is just a classic Rogue game, isn't it?
Well, they're happy to scale.
Yeah,
and I think when we talk about engage tools, you highlighted it earlier, well, when Markoon doesn't have ult, you know, you have to be careful. But also the counterpunch from BDS, if you overcommit on an engage with an Alistar Orianna combo, Season 2 Classic, you have to respect it. Interesting to see Nuke go for the Void Staff, though, over the Corpse Bloom. I think general knowledge from speaking to pro players that they're preferring the, Crypt Bloom. You know, extra ability haste, a little bit less damage, but Nuke wants to hit like a truck in the context of this game. Wants to just one-shot people with that ultimate.
Quite interesting. We'll see how much value we can get out of it. Drakos, there's a dragon in 5 seconds.
They're gonna fight, folks.
Sure. I've been waiting 22 minutes for this one.
All right, package on the way for Larssen. That makes this fight incredibly hard for BDS.
Yeah, but
Adam waiting in the darkness. If Larssen packages in at the wrong angle, he's just gonna get one pop by the Garen. So Zoelys stepping up, trying to isolate Labrov on the side of the fight. When becomes lightning, not going to connect. Labrov losing half of his health and his ultimate. Now going to jump in. Good from Rogue so far. Excellent discipline. BDS stepping in to take control of the space, though. You can see the ball placed down. Keep an eye on that Orianna. Now getting pulled back onto Labrov, ready to go for the combo. Larssen, again, can disrupt so much with the package here.
There it is.
They're trying to watch out the Corki. They do it! It's so damn clean from BDS! Everything could have gone wrong, but with full confidence, they pull the trigger, and they make it happen. Adam on the chase now. Szygenda might just drop here. Ulti not available. BDS winning out the exchange. If that Corki package had gone out, that entire fight could have turned. Because the metal hooks on his backside, but will just barely make it out to safety. And now the Baron in the sights of BDS. Incredible execution.
Labrov like a toy in a claw machine. BDS pulled the trigger faster than Rogue can react, and that's going to be Baron off the back of that dragon fight. Good combo. We called it out. It's the most.
It's the OG.
It is the beginning of wombo combos.
The beginning. Rocky Mountain Oysters, as it used to be called.
Rocky Mountain Oysters.
I'm not going to explain that one to you. That's one for the Americans and the OGs.
Well,
all right, that right there, bam. Scryer's Bloom. Because you can never forget your job as a support, folks. No matter how great that play looked, your job is to place wards, and don't forget it.
Exactly.
Not to set up Oriannas. That's the fun part. You still have to do the not fun part. Anyway, Baron power play. 1.2k gold lead for BDS. Now they are very much in control of this game.
That's a lot of damage from a...
He started that fight dying, and he still did 2.2k damage, and everyone's just fine with this champion right now?
How did...
They must have started calculating before the combo came out. That must have just been upfront poke.
Really early calc. Poke must have been there because Larssen got bloody one-shot in that combo.
Very much shot. But that's a reminder that Malignant's Corki, as if rocket-focused Corki builds weren't strong enough, like Malignant's coming in, it's just so powerful, man.
Yeah. Corki needs a looking at, for sure.
Keep your eyes on a balanced team. Checking in now. Rogue ready to collapse the mid lane. Again, good tools to try to find a pick, but Adam and Sheo are really the only members stepping forward. Labrov as well. Nuke and Ice. Ooh. Very disciplined around a lot of these exchanges, not stepping too far in and leaving themselves vulnerable to Markoon's combo. Zoelys, while he found some decent hooks early on, there are now 3 members on the opposing side that you really have to be careful about hooking, which makes his life a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, you can only really afford to hook Nuke and Ice, and the frontliners only if they're so overstepped that they can be one-shot, but they are also tanky and have kill mechanisms of their own. And it is always a bit of a risk.
Yep.
I mean, Baron, next wave's coming. They're only really playing one wave at the minute. Adam's going to get the next one in the mid lane, so...
Flash in, hook, get the flash from Nuke, though. Yeah. Good exchange in terms of resources. But now the Hex Flash over the wall. Won't come through. Instead, Hex flashing away is Labrov. Recall being channeled. As Adam is on the way to break open the tier 2 mid lane. I don't think they're going to be able to stop this one, but they can at least stop him from threatening the inhibitor.
Yeah, still good movement from BDS. Allowed that window to be abused a bit, but Nuke should still be able to play relatively safely. And it's only really Markoon he's got to worry about being dove on. Now looking for this tier 2 on the bottom side now.
Nice poke from Larssen there. Doing a little chunk on a Nuke. Needs to hit a few more though if they want to get anything else. Larssen out of ammo.
There you go.
Pull back on the Alistar. Labrov taking his time, knows that this is not the opportunity to turn. Does not want to overcommit as Szygenda. Gonna W full on into the wall there.
Sante is a big champion.
But I think the nice thing here is you've kind of weathered the storm of Baron. That was the last wave of Baron-empowered creeps. Yes, you lost a tier 2 mid, but all things considered, 3K gold difference, it could have been a lot worse on the back of the Baron like that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just more time now for Larssen to hit that level 16 mark, get those level 3 rockets in. And if he can somehow, well, you know, it was definitely poke before he got one shot by the combo, but if he's able to get out that much damage earlier on at 2 items, imagine what's going to happen if he can hit 3, level 16, and BDS kind of take their time with it, because again, the engage options for BDS, a little bit hard to execute in a way if Rogue don't really give them the windows for it, but it's there and they can always fish.
Yeah, I think the nice, like, you always have the Alistar where if people are going to group up, you can instantly pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And you have the Ashe arrow for non-committal engage, but it's certainly not as strong as what we saw in the previous game where you had a Gnar coming together with, you know, the Rel as well. It's really the one combo. It's this Orianna Alistar that are going to make things happen and Ice to kind of fish. Which, again, compared to the side of Rogue, it's comparable engage, again, but I think Markoon's option to start a fight is just so much more reliable.
Yeah, I think that's the word I was probably looking for, is reliable.
Yeah.
Cheers, Drake. What's your...
No problem. We're working together.
Yeah, we got this.
Our powers combine. Another I like this tempo, audience. We're cheering for towers getting taken now.
That's how we know
we could do ward kills, little throwback.
Yeah.
Introduce all the new esports fans as Labrov has been caught out. He's been pulled back. They're going to force the ult out. Hook will not connect. Again, that's a big cooldown for the fights to come. It's not an Aftershock Alistar or a Phase Rush, so can't just get out reliably. But Rogue, eyes on the objective here. Labrov on the flank. Larssen once again starting a fight with Package. Can BDS one-shot him again? Or will he find the angle this time around? Adam pulled to the back line. They're going to one-shot Adam. Larssen, they don't have the follow-up quite yet. Instantly just kills Labrov. This entire fight is now falling apart, but a beautiful shockwave taking out so much of Szygenda and Larssen's health bars. But at the end of the day, Rogue got exactly what they came for. Incredible discipline from Rogue. I was ready for that package to come out immediately for them to try to get more, but they were happy just to take the dragon, just to move up to Soul Point.
I mean, good due diligence. They had the wards to try and catch out a potential flank angle from Adam. And Zoelys is able to hook him under the rest of the team, and the turn on the rest of the fight is excellent. BDS do try and pull the trigger with the Orianna and the Alistar after the fact, but I think Labrov is either too far away, it looks like, yep, too far away, and just gets one shot a bit too quickly. After Shockwave is good. There's no other damage sources remaining on BDS to really punish it, so lose out on the dragon. They don't lose any important summoner spells. I'm not sure if Labrov had his flash, but he's got Hex Flash, so, you know.
Slow.
Yeah.
Steady. Controlled. I really thought the second we saw the start of that shockwave animation, I'm wondering if Larssen just missed it. Obviously hard to see in the chaos of a fight, that he would instantly just ult on top of Nuke. Nuke is scary, though. Yep. Even without ultimate, you can get a lot out of a single rotation in those auto attacks. But Corki at 3 items now. I'll say it again, if you've missed this interaction somehow, Eclipse and Malignance work together in such a way that a single Corki rocket will proc Eclipse passive, which is shielding, movement speed, and extra bonus damage. It's very obnoxious. It is not the sole reason that Corki is strong, but that interaction between those 2 items is why you are seeing them on the same champion right now.
Very well put.
I don't know. Man, we're at this point now. Maybe we just get every game can be 50 minutes.
All right. Do I dare to ask the question? We're 20 minutes away from... Nah.
No, we're going to fight at the next Drake.
Yeah.
Thing is, you know, BDS are pretty measured. They're going to fish for these angles with Adam. But Rogue right now, you know, double buffs across the board on the team, as you do post 20 minutes. Setting up around Baron. Slow, steady, controlled. All their sums up and available. I mean, some TP's missing, but all their flashes.
All the important ones.
All the important ones there.
And it's very by the book. as far as Rogue are concerned. They just want to try and set up vision. Okay!
Be a one-shot, no opportunity to ult, but they see Labrov on the backside. Did they spot him soon enough? The answer so far is yes. Nuke can't get in position to lay down the ball. They're keeping an eye on it this time, or are they in the midst of the entire team? They're all going to hit Larssen. Rogue could now just clean up. Another hook onto Adam. That's Masters to start the fight. Should be a huge fight for of Rogue. Larssen, no package, means there's no immediate follow-up, but they do get Adam's flash. Big summoner spell advantage for the side of Rogue.
And there's no shockwave available to nuke anymore, so this Baron, how scary is it really? And you've got turn options via Markoon. Adam's going to have to do a lot of work here in terms of pressure.
Are they willing to risk the 50-50? So at least one more hook could help secure this. So at least getting lower and lower. 7K on the objective. Sheo into the midst of the entire team, just trying to burn down Comp. Comp now dashing out to safety. Baron still standing. Baron resetting. Szygenda getting chucked away. Sheo should just get taken down here, but he's still alive. Rogue getting herded away from the objective. They're at a man advantage, and they can't even find the angle into the fight.
Oh, they're being cornered off Drakos. This could be disastrous for Rogue. They really need to play this one out as carefully as they can.
Oh, that volley is infuriating. Adam finds a big chunk, Ignite, ticking, unstoppable. The shield fades away, Szygenda goes down, and Adam's just gonna spin! And he's gonna keep spinning!
Oh, Larssen!
Larssen versus the world, Nuke is out of mana! Larssen now running. He could finish off Nuke, but he's taking his time. He's playing so safe. He could have gone in, but he doesn't want to risk dying to Labrov.
Oh, can they find Comp on the backside? He's got flash.
There's no way he gets out of this. Wind becomes lightning. Flash.
Okay.
There it is. He did say that he had flash.
Oh, but now Larssen, how much trouble is he in?
Empowered auto, stun. Larssen in trouble. Nuke now ready for a bit of revenge. And now it's BDS to turn to the Baron.
What just happened? What just... That started in the mid lane and ended in top. And now BDS find themselves in front of the Baron. They will secure this because everyone on Rogue is dead. Coming outside of the base.
BDS went mid, lost their support, walked Baron in a 4v5, bullied Rogue out against the Corki team. Like, they poked out the Corki team, and then they cleaned them up.
And at the start of it all, they ate like 3 Blitzcrank hooks. Don't forget as well.
They had no health. He's healing in mid lane right now.
I mean, Larsen's damage you can at the very least see on offer is absolutely terrifying, but when all
Larssen
of...
out of resources there. I thought he could chase more, but he'd already used the W.
Yeah, he was out of everything he had.
Ice hanging out.
Yeah.
No matter what the language barrier is, I know what that is. He's just laughing, having a good time.
He's almost the passenger in a way in this game. He's kind of watching everyone.
Sitting in the back line, auto-attacking when he can. Living the Ashe life.
This has to be the AD carry dream. In, well, one of the two AD carry. The one AD carry dream is,
I don't know if any AD carry's dream is to throw out Hawkshot for vision, ulti for CC, and then hang out in the back line.
But like, do nothing can maybe get a free win also sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm curious what the damage is right now. I want to see what Ice has actually been able to put out. Ashe is often deceptive. Hook going in onto Labrov.
Oh my god.
Again, big chunk. Yeah. But Labrov does not burn the ulti, crucially. Rogue just doing their best to survive the siege for right now. It is soul point for them. And the Drake is up and available. Adam gonna heal up. Labrov slowly healing as well.
Dun.
Oh, they spot him. Szygenda sees him in the brush, crucially. Adam trying to find an angle into Markoon. Markoon, I don't know if you want this fight. None of your carries are nearby, but Comp is now coming in. That's gonna be big, but Adam just gonna spin his way out to safety.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward.
That's ulti gone for Markoon.
Yeah, BDS kind of split apart there, so they weren't able to collapse as well as perhaps the camera angle may have made us into believing. And they're just going to pick up this dragon. That's it. Oh, Rogue, I guess they'll get this tier 1.
They've tier 1.
Pack, well, there's the package.
Minutes, but it happened.
Hello.
Arrow.
Nope.
Okay, nice.
Saw it from a mile away. 3-3 in dragons. It's Cloud Soul.
I'm sorry, are we in game 1 or is this Am I... Hold on, can you touch my forehead? Just touch my forehead.
Yeah.
I don't have a fever, right?
No, you don't.
Okay,
no,
I'm not hallucinating?
yeah.
All right.
No.
Here we are. Similar games in many ways, different in terms of draft and a lot of the things that have happened. Similar in the length, in the duration. Zoelys, another hook. Again, credit to Zoelys. He keeps hitting these hooks. He keeps getting resources. It just wasn't enough. So they get the ult out of Sheo. That's an advantage for the next fight. Markoon's ult is going to be up sooner. Can they leverage that advantage? BDS are just walking in. They got Baron.
All right.
The creeps are empowered. BDS, fearless, just constantly threatening with that shockwave.
They don't have a wave in the mid lane. I don't think they're actually... Oh my god, that tower's actually quite low. They might tank it.
Szygenda stepping up.
All right. Oh, hello.
They get knocked up. Ball was briefly attached to Labrov there, just fishing for an angle. Pull back. So Labrov not going to overcommit. Just kind of bullying, just threatening, trying to get a bit more space from Rogue so they can walk into their base and take another inhibitor. Respecting the hook potential of Zoelys.
This has got to be the saddest happy game for a Blitzcrank I think I've ever seen. Like he's hitting like 80% of his hooks, but it's just not.
The hit rate is very good.
Yeah. BDS really want this inhibitor. Markoon's on a okay-ish angle, and he's no longer in the angle.
Yeah. I don't think you're not winning out on that one.
No.
BDS walk in, they take their second inhibitor.
Zoelys.
Rogue. Nope. Running forward. Will they force the fight?
They can't. Volleys are obnoxious.
True. Very hard to engage on an Ashe team. Has to be said. You really have to full commit. You cannot.
Can't dilly-dally.
Yeah, you're not winning the movement speed race. Nope. In that context. Gotta get some dashes in there. 2 minutes to Baron.
Beat me to
2
it.
minutes and 48 seconds and counting down till Cloud Soul for somebody on this rift. Will we see an Elder Dragon, Jamada? Will we see an Elder this game? That's my question for you.
Well, we're also 12 minutes away from last game's record.
I think we can break some records.
You know,
they can say what they want about our casting duo, but they can't say we weren't here for these record breaking moments.
Exactly. You know, it's about the participation, the presence, right?
That's all we're here as casters to witness the great moment in esports, Jamada.
Which is this game maybe reaching 50 minutes.
The action.
Oh yeah.
To catalog these moments in history.
And I guess for clarity, if you're wondering what there is to catalog, it's BDS have the ability to press their Ashe R.
Sure.
And maybe find someone out on top of a pick.
Yeah.
And then it's Rogue having Jarvan and not really a lot of like dive follow-up. It's mostly poke.
Tough.
It's an awkward game.
With the Blitz. Yeah, no, you really like the Blitz didn't help Rogue get a lot of leads on top side early.
Ooh. That was spicy. I like that.
Spun away from that one.
Yeah.
BDS not even going to try to play for any big objectives here. Just going to look for the final towers. Adam flashes in and tries to one-shot a Kalista. Now leaping away is Comps. Adam slowly but surely gets chunked away, but he's just going to try to back off. The turret is now down. BDS just looking to break open the last inhibitor. Zoelys dies in the meantime. Adam starting to heal up again. The Perseverance passive coming in clutch here.
Can they can't look for an end, right?
Remember, BDS fighting for top 2. They lock top 2 if they win this game. Rogue still neck and neck with Giant X regardless of the results, but would love to have the win under their belt.
Drakos, they're ending.
They're ending the game. They're walking forward. They're hitting everything. They're killing everyone in the base, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. BDS coming in. Get hyped. They have locked top 2. An odd game of League of Legends. But BDS will find the win.
Not an odd game, Drakos. A tempered game.
Tempered game.
Of League of Legends. And yeah, BDS, it felt like just kind of did everything they needed to do. This is going to be one of the weirdest post games to break down ever because
they're scrappy fights kind of, but once we got past 25 minutes,
The only thing really that gave them trouble was Zoelys' hooks every now and again, and even then it was a couple of resources blown here. Adam soaked a bunch of pressure at any time Rogue tried to attack him on the side lane. And it felt like Rogue just didn't really have many options to force.
I mean, credit to BDS, they always felt like they were out of reach.
Yeah.
Even the hook, even when the hooks are connecting, they still felt out of reach. It was crazy. Of course, player of the game vote now at LEC on X. Adam, Sheo, Labrov, all valid choices. All good options.
Kind of biased. I feel like Adam soaked a lot of pressure.
He did.
In this game, and it did open up and allow BDS to take away a lot on the map. Perhaps more than they deserved at some point.
Telling me you're a top laner without telling me you're a top laner. That's what I hear when you say soak pressure. All right. Regardless, fantastic for BDS. They have locked top 2 in the LEC. We're going to head to a quick break. When we return, Fnatic versus G2.